2015 Special Olympics Maryland Golf Preseason Webinar. My name is Tommy George. I'm a Sports Director for Special Olympics Maryland. I'm also overseeing the golf program now for the last 8 years with Special Olympics Maryland. So welcome to everyone who is on board on the webinar with us tonight. We're going to try and keep this to under 1 hour, if not shorter. The call tonight, we will go over the golf mailing list. We'll talk about that a little bit. We'll talk about the communication. We'll talk about our golf management team that we have. We'll take a brief tour of the golf guide, the document that we have and we've created with Special Olympics Maryland. We'll go over what's in the guide, the review of our rules and our policies, talk a little bit about the state golf championships. We'll also get into some coaches and unified partner training information, as well as some information on the 2015 Golf NIT hosted by Special Olympics North America. So again, please hit *6 to mute your phone. At the end of the call, we will have a question and answer session. So please save all of your questions till the end. And we'll have a brief question and answer session at the end of the call. So if anybody doesn't want to stick around for that, you don't have to. All right, so first things first, how are we going to communicate this year? What we've done is we've created a golf mailing list. It is a pretty comprehensive mailing list of coaches, unified partners, caddies, athletes, family members from the last 6 or 7 years collectively. So all the golf communication will come directly from me and from my email address, which is listed here on the screen. If you're not already on the mailing list and you want to be on the mailing list and get more information from us, please email me at tgeorge@somd.org. We'll have weekly communications, including some scoring updates, tee sheets for qualifiers. We'll send out information on who has qualified for the state championships throughout the year as well. Again, the golf mailing list is open to all coaches, athletes, partners, caddies, area county support staff from your local program, as well as families too. So please, again, if you're interested in getting on that mailing list, please shoot me a note, please shoot me an email, and we'll be happy to do that. Again, if you could hit *6 to mute your line and cut out the background noise, we would appreciate it. Thanks, Al. So our golf management team, what we've done with Special Olympics Maryland is created sport management teams for all of our sports throughout all 3 of our sports seasons. And the sports management team helps us to focus on ways we can improve the sport, ways we can recruit more volunteers, enhance the competition opportunities for our athletes, as well as to kind of grow and develop the game in support of our athletes as well. The golf management team consists of coaches, unified partners. We have a couple of athletes on it. We have some technical delegates and professionals from our golf community. We have some USGA rules officials and some Special Olympics Maryland staff. Our golf management team this year will help us do a variety of things. On the slide right here, you can see them listed. It includes Matt Anderson from Frederick, Bob Baker from Howard County, Mike Cumberpatch, a rules official from the USGA, Jimmy Hawkins, an athlete from St. Mary's County, Chuck Helmuth from Montgomery County, Diane Herndon, a USGA rules official, Kara Huff, she is from Callaway Golf, she's joined our team, Bill Lowe, who's a unified partner and a coach from St. Mary's County, William Paproth, who's from Frederick County, Marty Parks, a USGA rules official, Daryl Price, coach from Charles County, and Prue Sahadio, a coach from Anne Arundel County. So, as you can see, or as you can hear, we have a pretty comprehensive group of volunteers who have joined this team, who are passionate about Special Olympics golf, and growing our program. We have them from all walks of life, from USGA rules officials to area county support staff to folks from the golf community. So this group will focus on 4 things in particular: enhancing and coordinating our coaches and unified partner training opportunities, improving and gathering equipment for our golfers, growing the qualifier schedule and enhancing the qualifying opportunities, as well as hosting and facilitating our state championship. If you have any questions for the golf management team throughout the year, please direct them to me. And if you'd like to be on the golf management team in the future, obviously we don't want this to be a group that's too large, but we're always looking for other more help and for more people with a passion for our athletes and a passion for our golfers. So if you're interested in joining us, please shoot me an email as well. As we've done for the last about year or so, Special Olympics has instituted the head coach certification policy. It's been a long-standing policy which we have not consistently adhered to, but for this year, as with all of our other sports that you may have participated in 2015 with Special Olympics, all of the head coaches from each particular sport have to have a sports certification in that particular sport or in one of the other in one of our other educational opportunities. So for Special Olympics golf, we are going to require that all of our head golf coaches have their certification by September 10th, 2015. If you have more information or need more information on that, if you're going to be registered as the head golf coach, please shoot me an email after the call or communicate with your area county director as well. We need a minimum of one head coach for each delegation. That is not one for skills and one for stroke play, but simply one for each delegation. The certification is valid for 3 years, and later on this week we'll send an update with learning opportunities that will include live webinars, in-person training sessions, and some online courses as well. Coaches with a previous Special Olympic sports certification in their specific sport must complete a one general or one sport-specific learning opportunity to renew. Coaches with no previous Special Olympic sports certification in their specific sport must complete the Coaching Special Olympics Athletes course or the Principles of Coaching course and the sport-specific session as well. Again, this is for coaches who will be certified as the head golf coach for your delegation. At some point down the road, this will apply to all coaches, and that could happen as soon as 2016. So what we do is we would like to encourage all of our golf coaches and golf unified partners to go ahead and become certified, go through the trainings. This will be valuable, especially in golf, simply due to the hands-on nature of the unified partner. And what we mean by that is that in the alternate shot stroke play, where the partner and the athlete are playing together, the partner really acts more as a coach than anyone else who the athlete or the golfer will compete with or will interact with on a daily basis or during their competition. So having the unified partners go through this training and become experienced and certified and get this education will not only enhance the unified partner experience, but also the experience for the athlete as well. And just another reminder, in 2016, Special Olympics North America, not Special Olympics Maryland, Special Olympics North America is creating a requirement across North America that concussion training is being added for all coaches across every sport. So that's coming in 2016. So we'll provide more information on that as well. In regards to our in-person trainings, if you're on the golf mailing list, you would have seen earlier today that we announced that we have our golf coaches and unified partners training on Saturday, August 29th. It'll be from 9 to 12:30. It'll be at Waverly Woods Golf Course, which is in Marriottsville, which is basically at the intersection of Interstate 70 and Route 40 in kind of northern Howard County there. All coaches, and as I said, it's recommended for unified partners, must attend one training every 3 years in order to be certified. The training session in itself is open to all coaches, athletes, unified partners, and caddies. And if you're interested in registering, the link to register is here on this slide, and you'll get these slides following tonight's presentation. And it was also in the email that went out earlier today in our golf mailing list. A brief schedule of the day will look like this on the slide you're seeing now. We'll have a check-in. We'll have about an hour of overview on the Special Olympics Maryland golf program. Then we'll have about an hour question and answer session with the USGA rules officials. And then we'll have an hour of instruction at the practice and training facilities at Waverly Woods with their PGA professionals. And then at 12:30, we'll provide lunch for everybody in attendance. And then Waverly Woods has actually opened some discounted tee times for anybody in attendance that day. And if you're interested in playing around at a discounted rate, there's more information about that opportunity in the registration link if you go and click on it and go in and register. There is an online certification that you can obtain through ASEP, which is the American Sport Education Program. The online golf coaches course previously available from ASEP has been temporarily discontinued while the materials were being updated. We're not sure when that will come back online. If it does come back online before the end of the golf season, we'll obviously email everybody. But if you've participated in some of our other sports and you've gone to ASAP and taken those courses, you'll find them to be very educational and very useful, but the golf one is currently disabled through ASAP right now. So now what I'll do is I'm going to switch presentation slides, and we'll go over and we'll take a look at the Special Olympics Maryland Golf Guide. It's a similar document to what we've used in previous years, so please refer to this document for all of your questions and for all of your training and resource needs throughout your season. And again, the PowerPoint slides, as well as the golf guide, which you'll see here momentarily, will all be available via email to everyone who's participating here at the end of the call. All right, so what you're seeing now on the screen, if you're on the online portion of the webinar, is our golf guide. The table of contents is a live table of contents, which means you can click anywhere in the document and it'll take you to that particular page. In the document, we have all of the Special Olympics golf rules and the rules that pertain to Special Olympics Maryland golf in particular, which include some of the bullet notes here, including families and spectators being asked to maintain a 50-foot distance during all competitions. That includes skills and stroke play, and some recommendations, not requirements, but recommendations in moving athletes from the individual skills competition to the level 2 through 5 stroke play competition as well. The document will also provide you with rules links, including links to the USGA, which is our national governing body. Special Olympics Maryland Golf and Special Olympics North America Golf use the USGA rulebook for all the competitions. So please visit usga.org, and they have a great selection and a great library of educational resources and educational videos for everything from training to rules to care for the course information, etc. The Special Olympics Golf Resource page, coaching guide, quick start guide, and the home training guide are all linked here on this page. They're very excellent resources, and there's also a link to the Special Olympics Golf Rules of Competition, which outline and highlight the individual skills competition, as well as some suggestions for the stroke play competition as well. The uniform requirements are also listed on this page for all Special Olympics golfers. This includes athletes and unified partners. For all levels of competition, we require a collared shirt or a golf mock shirt. There's to be no T-shirts. We require slacks or Bermuda shorts, golf shirts for women. We do not allow blue jeans, denim, sweatpants, warm-up pants, or basketball shorts in any competition setting. Shoes, we ask that no metal spikes are worn. We require that soft spikes, golf shoes, or sneakers are worn on the course at all times. Again, links to the Special Olympics Maryland golf rules and the Special Olympics golf rules are provided here on this page. A notable rule change that was instituted in 2014 was the maximum score eligibility standard for each level, and this was instituted across all levels of Special Olympics golf in North America. So in order to participate in competition for a medal or ribbon at the stroke play competition, your average score over the course of the year has to be one of these scores or lower that's listed here on the page. So for level 2, you have to have an average score of 75 or lower. Level 3 is 120 or lower. Level 4 is 70 or lower. And level 5 is 120 or lower. Golfers and teams can register for a qualifier at any level they want during the training season, and a golfer has until the last qualifier of the training season to earn that average and try and bring it down below the the maximum entry average that's listed here on this page. One of the things that we use is the Special Olympics Golf Scoring Spreadsheet. It's a very detailed spreadsheet. It goes over a lot of scoring history for athletes from the past several years. And what it does is it incorporates the slope and the rating for each particular course that our golfers will play. And what that does is it creates a fair and consistent average between different golf courses so we can try to obtain precise and accurate qualifying scores for our golfers. So in the scoring spreadsheet, there's an example here on this page. What the score that we use for our maximum entry score is the last 5 adjusted scores, meaning the score has been adjusted based on the slope and par and rating of the course that was played by those athletes. If you have more information on this, or you need more information on this, or have questions, be happy to answer them later on after the call. Again, this is the same system that we've used for the last 7 or 8 years. The skills competition, nothing has changed. We have 6 particular skills that our athletes compete in. That's the short putt, long putt, chip shot, pitch shot, iron shot, and wood shot. The purpose of the skills competition is to allow our athletes to train and compete in basic golf skills, and the development of these key skills is necessary prior to advancing to level 2 through 5 stroke play competition. Information on the individual skills competition can be found on pages 7 through 19 of this document. The document outlines how to lay out each particular skill, the scoring for each particular skill, the volunteers that would be required for each particular skill, and the do's and don'ts of each particular skill. So, as I back up here, we always get a couple of questions in regards to the skills competition every year. So, the pitch shot. The pitch shot is where they compete. They take 5 swings, 5 attempts, and they hit the ball over a banner into what is a simulated green type area. The idea of the pitch shot is to help develop the skill of pitching the ball from the rough or from somewhere outside or around the green onto the green. The Special Olympics competitions that you'll compete in here in North America, you are allowed to use a tee for this competition. It is not required, but athletes can train and compete at all the qualifiers and all of the state competitions and even at the national tournaments using a tee for the pitch shot. So again, the athletes can use a tee. It can be rubber, it can be a wood tee, or they do not have to use anything if they don't like, but they can use a tee for the pitch shot. When we move to the iron shot and the wood shot, the iron and wood shot, athletes can use a hybrid club for the iron shot. They can use a traditional iron for the iron shot. You cannot use a wood for the iron shot. For the wood shot, you can use a hybrid club or a safety club. You can use a traditional driver, or 3 wood, or 5 wood, or 7 wood. You can't use an iron. So you can use a hybrid club for the wood shot and for the iron shot. The catch is you cannot use the same club for both particular skills. So coaches need to be aware of this and do this on our own throughout the training season so that we're training our athletes with 2 separate clubs for 2 separate shots. Again, if we have more questions on this, we can ask them at the end of the call. But those are the 3 biggest points, 3 biggest question marks that we always get throughout the year in regards to the skills competition. In this document here on page 19, you can see a basic layout of what the skills competition driving range should look like. This is in the document. The measurements are in there too. So if you're doing a skills competition, whether it's at your trainings, your practices, or at a qualifier, this is a great way and a great kind of map of how to lay out your venue so that you can set up the skills competition properly.
Yeah.
So nothing has changed in the stroke play competition. We still have level 2, which is 9-hole alternate shot, and level 3, which is 18-hole alternate shot. And level 4 and level 5, those are individual stroke play competitions. Level 4 is 9 holes, level 5 is 18 holes. Some general competition information includes athletes are asked to be at their tees at all their qualifiers and state competitions 15 minutes prior to teeing off. If you miss your tee time, you are disqualified under USGA Rule 6.3.
Yes.
If we could please mute our phone, we still have some background noise. Thanks.
What do you want?
You'll have to go to Oakland
What?
and meet up with Daphne or Judith.
Yeah.
Hey guys, if whoever's going to Oakland, if you could mute your phone, it would be greatly appreciated.
Sorry.
Thanks. All right, if golf carts are being used at a competition, the course rules for the day shall be followed. We ask that all of our athletes and partners play ready golf so that the athletes and the partners are ready to take their next stroke as soon as the team or golfer before them has taken their stroke and is safely out of the way. This will help to speed up the pace of play. If we have inclement weather, whether it be rain or lightning, we will play through rain until the rain becomes too dangerous to play, becomes an inhabitant of play, and impedes the safety of the athletes. If we have any lightning whatsoever, the competition is delayed. You're to get off the course immediately, go back to the clubhouse. Safety is the most important issue. If we have no lightning for 30 minutes and the course then allows us to go back out and continue to compete, this is at training practices, qualifiers, or the state competition. If the course allows us to go back out and continue our round, great. If not, we'll just call it a day there. We'll take it from there. So, one of the other questions we always get in regards to stroke play is the teeing ground. In Special Olympics Maryland Golf, for all of our qualifiers, for all of our competitions, and what you should be doing in your training at your practices every week if you go out into the course, is to use the forwardmost tee box on the course. This is what we use at the state competition. If you look at page 21 in the slide that's up now, there's a great example of where our tee box would be and where our tee box would not be. On the diagram you'll see on the screen, there is a junior or kids golf tee marker that's sometimes placed in the fairway, and we don't use that. We use the forward's most tee box, which is commonly the ladies or women's tees. At that particular tee box, the women will tee off from the front of the teeing ground the men will tee off from approximately 5 yards behind the women at the same teeing ground. So again, everyone will use the same teeing ground, which is usually the women's teeing ground, the forwardmost tee box. The women will tee off from the front of the teeing ground. The men will tee off from the rear of the teeing ground. One of the other questions we always get is, sometimes the teeing ground isn't 5 yards in a distance that's recommended here. It's a recommendation. If you cannot tee the ball up 5 yards back, make a safe distance back. Allow yourself to have the footing and the line of sight that you're looking for, and that will be where you will tee the ball up from. At the state competition, we'll have 2 sets of teeing markers at every teeing ground that we have on the course. This applies, so the female athletes and female partners, again, will tee off from the front of the teeing ground, and all the male athletes and male partners will tee off from 5 yards behind the women at the forwardmost teeing ground on every hole. Again, 9-hole competition is alternate shot stroke play. So it's an athlete, it's a unified partner, and it's alternate shot stroke play. That's the biggest thing you always need to remember, especially when it comes into balls out of play, rulings. It's always alternate shot. That's the biggest thing to remember. And if you go to the USGA website, we won't get into too many rules questions here tonight, if any at all. But if you go to the USGA website, the alternate shot rules are posted on the USGA website, and they're also in the USGA rulebook, and that's what we will follow at every event. One key to keep in mind in Special Olympics Maryland and all of Special Olympics competition for alternate shot golf is the partner and the team, they have the opportunity to choose who will tee off on the very first hole. So if the athlete decides that they want to tee off on hole number 1, they will tee off on hole number 1, and then the partner will tee off on hole number 2. And then it will rotate athlete, partner, athlete, partner, athlete, partner for every tee shot on every new hole for the rest of the round. This is the same thing that's been done for the last 8 years that I've been here, and that's the same way we'll proceed. Again, if player A plays in the tee box on the odd number holes, then player B would play from the tee box on the even number holes. So you have the opportunity to choose who will tee off on the first hole, and this is key because it may help you line up for a difficult hole later on in the competition or the qualifier. This also applies for the 18-hole competition as well, but keep in mind, once you set the order of who tees off on the first hole, the order cannot be changed in the round. In level 4 and level 5, that's individual stroke play competition. So the athlete participates with a caddy. The athlete's not required to have a caddy, but at the state competition, if the athlete doesn't have a caddy, we will provide a caddy for the athlete. For all of our stroke play competition, level 2, 3, 4, and 5, we will play the 10x scorecard. What that means is if a 10th stroke is played on a particular hole and the ball does not go in the hole on stroke number 10, the athlete or partner will pick up their ball, their score will be 10x, and then they will proceed to the next hole. It's important to note that 10 versus 10x are 2 different scores. If we get to a tiebreaker, which we will cover later on in the season in regards to the state competition of how we'll break tiebreakers at the state competition, that will be a tiebreaker in that a 10x would be higher than a 10 if that were to come into play. But get into that habit as you participate in your training and qualifiers throughout the season as well. So how do you qualify for our state championships? This, again, has not changed from previous years. All golfers must be properly registered in GMS, which is our Games management system. If you have any questions about becoming registered in GMS, you need to direct those questions to your local area director or your county director. The only way you can register for a qualifier is to complete the following steps. The athletes and partners will inform their golf coach in which qualifiers they want to participate in. The coaches will collect all that information, and they'll submit what's called the request for participation form to me via email. That form will come to me no later than the close of business on the Wednesday prior to a qualifier. So if we have a qualifier this coming Saturday, those forms are due tomorrow, Wednesday by 5 o'clock. We'll ask that we only receive one request for participation form from each county. And what this does is it keeps all of our partners in touch with the head golf coach within the county, and it also ensures that we don't get 4 or 5 different forms from one particular county, and someone might have the opportunity to be overlooked and not get into a qualifier. So again, we only want one request for participation form per area county program. If we have a qualifier that has a skills competition or a skills component, you can have, some counties have a separate skills competition coach and a separate stroke play competition coach. And in that instance, we'll accept 2 different requests for participation forms because one coach may have much better handle on what stroke play competitions would be, or stroke play golfers would be attending, and what skills competition golfers would be attending. Again, these are requests that will be reviewed based on the tee times that we have available for each particular tee time. We'll create the tee sheets, and we'll distribute everything on the Thursday prior to the qualifier, if not sooner, so that everybody can plan and prepare for the qualifier that coming weekend. For all the qualifiers, we'll have tee times. At the state competition, we'll also play by tee times as well. If something were to come up where we decide to have a shotgun format, we'll notify you of that. But as of right now, all of our qualifiers, as they've been in recent years, will be tee time starts. So, in order to qualify for a state competition at level 2 through 5, in order to qualify for a state competition at all levels, an athlete must compete in 2 qualifiers at the level he or she wishes to compete at the state competition. So what that means is, if we have a level 2 team, they have to compete at level 2 in 9-hole alternate shot in 2 qualifiers in order to qualify for the state competition. If a team participates 1 week in level 2 play, and then 2 weeks later participates in another qualifier at level 3 play, they have not qualified for the state competition because they've only participated in 1 qualifier at each particular level. So again, nothing has changed here. You have to participate in 2 qualifiers at the level of competition that you'd like to compete in at the state competition. However, keep in mind that we're obviously looking to enhance the athlete opportunity. So if you qualify for the state competition, or you'd like to try your hand at 18-hole competition versus 9-hole competition, or alternate shot unified competition versus individual competition, you can do that, but keep in mind the qualification requirements that are here and how you qualify for the state competition. Also keep in mind that we keep the qualifying scores using the scoring spreadsheet, and we have the maximum score eligibilities that we discussed earlier, which you must meet or be lower than in order to qualify to compete for a medal or ribbon at the state championships. If you qualify for the state competition, but you aren't able to obtain one of the scores or lower that's listed here, you are still welcome to attend the competition. We invite you to still attend the competition, but you'll be in a participation division only. At the state competition, the level 1, level 4, and level 5 competition will have both male and female divisions. and that'll be at all the qualifiers and the state competition. And in all of our unified competition, that's qualifiers and the state competition, we'll have level 2 and level 3. We'll have male, female, and co-ed division. On the screen right now, you're seeing a list of qualifiers that we have scheduled and our schedule for the season. There's an important note here. Earlier this afternoon, we had a change. The Howard County qualifier has been changed from September 13th to August 30th. Again, the Howard County qualifier has been changed from September 13th to August 30th. So please communicate this with your athletes, with your partners, coaches, caddies, volunteers. If you have a group home that's bringing athletes to come to the competition, try and get this on their radar. Again, the Howard County qualifier has been changed from Sunday, September 13th to Sunday, August 30th. It's at the same location. The number of tee times is the same, but the competition has moved forward 2 weeks in our season. The season starts, as of today, the season starts on August 23rd at Compass Point, Anne Arundel County. We have our golf coaches and Unified Partner Training School on the 29th. The 30th is the Howard County qualifier. The folks in St. Mary's County are also working on hosting a qualifier on the 30th. Montgomery County is hosting their qualifier on Sunday, September 6th at Rattlewood. Frederick County is hosting their qualifier at Clustered Spires on Sunday, September 20th. And our state competition is Sunday, October 4th at Queenstown Harbor. That's for all levels of competition in the same format that we had last year. We have some other programs that are working on qualifiers, and when we get that information finalized and a more tentative date, we'll provide that to everyone as soon as we can. Other counties that are working on hosting qualifiers include St. Mary's for 2 qualifiers as opposed to 1, Baltimore County, and the Upper Shore, as well as Charles County. So we'll have more information on those qualifiers, and we'll keep you posted. Again, the Coaches and Unified Partner Training is Saturday, August 29th. We talked about it earlier, but it's at Waverly Woods Golf Course. It'll be from 9 to 12:30. It's for everyone who's involved with Special Olympics golf. That includes athletes, coaches, partners, caddies. The registration is limited to 50 participants, and the registration link is here in our golf guide. We talked about the online training portion. We'll skip over that for now. If you have more questions about getting an ASEP certification, please contact me after tonight's call. Our state championships are Sunday, October 4th at Queenstown Harbor in Queenstown, Maryland. It was a fantastic venue. We had rave reviews. The facility and everyone at the facility was great. We'll just hope it's a little bit warmer this year with a little less wind. The opening ceremony will be at 8 a.m. The first tee time will be at 9, and we'll start our award ceremonies probably about 1 o'clock or so. Again, level 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 will all participate at Queenstown Harbor just as we did last year. Just as you're on the preseason webinar tonight, we'll have a pre-competition webinar that'll be on Thursday, October 24th at 8 o'clock. We talked about the coaches certification. Yeah.
Tommy, October 24th is after the state competition.
You're correct. That's September 24th. My mistake.
Okay. All right.
Sure. Thanks. We talked about the coaches certification requirements. That's also listed here in the guide. The athlete registration documents and information and the deadlines that you need to adhere to for all of your athletes and all of your unified partners are listed here in the guide. The training registration date is Thursday, August 20th. The last date to submit missing forms is Friday, August 28th, and our competition registration deadline is September 10th. Again, if you have any questions about these deadlines or what you need to do to get your athlete registered, please communicate with your area county leadership. Examples of the athlete medical and the volunteer application are in the Special Olympics Maryland Golf Guide.
Tom, just one clarification for folks, because what we have here in terms of those dates is different from how we've presented them to you before. Those 3 dates are the dates by which your area has to have stuff into headquarters. We had previously given you some, I don't want to say fictitious, but some dates that were earlier in previous years, and they weren't the true deadline. Those, after talking with coaches and area programs, we shifted that over the course of the last year. So that August 20th is the date by which your training information has to be in GMS. So contact, you're going to obviously have to get that information to your GMS manager for your area prior to August 30th, or August 20th rather. Similarly for the other dates as well. So contact the people who handle those things for you now to find out. They're all volunteers in almost every case. Don't be confused with and think these are that there's a buffer there. These are the dates when stuff has to be at headquarters, and you'll notice they're a little bit later than they would have been before. Thanks.
Thanks, Mike. Again, examples of all these documents are here in the guide. And if you have more questions, again, as Mike alluded to and as I've said multiple times, please contact your area county director. In the guide, you'll also find an example of our incident report. If you have something happen in practice, whether it's a head injury or someone who needs to leave to go to the hospital due to some sort of illness or injury, or even something that you're not sure about. And what I mean you're not sure about is the policy that I always like to tell everybody is if you're not sure if you should write an incident report, write an incident report. Nothing bad can happen if you have to spend 3 minutes and write the incident report. A lot worse things can happen if you don't write the incident report, and then we have a situation. So again, when in doubt, fill it out. Take your time, fill out the form. Make sure you have these forms at all of your trainings, at all of your competitions, and at all of the times that you're with your Special Olympics athletes throughout the competition and training season. The Special Olympics Golf Guide also goes over the codes of conduct for athletes, coaches, volunteers, and spectators as well. The code of conduct infractions are also listed in the guide, as well as information on protecting Special Olympics athletes, and some information on concussions and how to help detect concussions, prevent concussions, and treat concussions if necessary. The guide also provides contact information for our Special Olympics Maryland staff. If you are in the east or the south, your regional director is Nick Anderson. If you're in the west, it's Melissa Anger. And if you're in the Baltimore area, it's Sam Hodat. So that covers the Special Olympics Maryland Golf Guide. As we move back into the PowerPoint, we just have a couple of other things here. We have our Special Olympics Golf NIT in Hilton Head, South Carolina at the Port Royal Golf Club, September 10th to the 13th. Maryland is represented by a team and delegation of 25 athletes, partners, coaches, and caddies. Thanks to Chuck Helmuth, who has volunteered to be our head of delegation again this year. We will be, as usual, one of the largest delegations in attendance. If you are chosen to participate in the NIT, which you would have received confirmation or information about that by now if you were, and you participate in the NIT, and you would then miss a qualifier that we would have scheduled for that weekend, you will receive credit for participating in a qualifier by participating in the NIT. So again, the NIT will serve as a qualifier for anyone who is in attendance in regards to qualifying for the state competition. All right, at this time, if you'd like to drop off the call, you're more than welcome to. We'll provide all the information we discussed tonight via email, probably tomorrow morning. We'll include the PowerPoint slides and the golf guide. We'll also provide any follow-up from any of the questions or discussions that we had here, and we'll open the floor for that for now. So if you'd like to drop off, please feel free. If you have any questions, please unmute your phone, and we'll take questions at this time.
Tommy, I have a question. This is Martin Lampe.
Hi, Mark.
For certification of a head coach, does that mean they need to attend the August 29th coach?
I'm sorry, Martin. You kind of broke up there. Could you say that again?
A head coach to be certified this year, they have to attend the August 29th coach training session?
Yes, that's what we're asking right now. We're working on some other opportunities that we'll have, and we'll try and present. Like I said, we're still working on those right now. But in the meantime, I would register for that coach's training opportunity to become certified, and we'll obviously provide you with more information in the coming days and coming weeks.
This is Tom McGuire from Carroll County. I have a certificate of completion for coach education from Human Kinetics. Is that what this training is on the 29th, or is that a different type of training?
The Human Kinetics training is a different training than what we're going to offer on the 29th. Mike, would the Human Kinetics training in this particular instance work or no?
It depends upon what the course is. If you want to stay on the call after everyone's done with their questions, I can clarify it. Human Kinetics is the parent company of ASEP. So it depends. If it's specifically for golf, and you got in before they discontinued the course, you should be fine. That said, I would strongly recommend anybody who's, even if you don't need to be recertified, the live session that Tommy and the golf management team put together is always exceptional and always a really good thing to attend, even if you don't need to be recertified. But hang on the call at the end, and then we can talk some specifics for you.
Okay.
Hi, Tommy. This is Eileen from Hartford.
Hi, Eileen.
Listen, our coach doesn't have any certifications this year, and I see you're having one training on the 29th. Are there any other trainings?
As of this time, there are not. We're working on some other training opportunities. In the past couple of years, we've done some online certifications where we've hosted a webinar like we've had tonight. Mm-hmm. They've worked. What we'd like to offer in lieu of that is another live session if we can. But again, as of right now, we don't have anything scheduled. So I would direct them and highly recommend for them to attend on August 29th. And again, we'll have more information as we try and schedule some other things, but I would focus on the 29th right now.
Okay, now if he doesn't have certifications, is he still going to be able to be the coach this year, or is that for 2016?
No, so that'll be for this year. He won't be able to be, he'll obviously still be able to work with the athletes, provided that he has all the other completed documentation in regards to his volunteer application, etc. Mm-hmm. What he won't be able to do is be the certified head coach for the state competition for the training and competition season. So what that means is that particular coach wouldn't be able to file a protest. A couple of other things. Mike, are you trying to say something?
Yeah, sure. Actually, what it does mean, now that we're actually enforcing this, I hate to put it as bluntly as this, but it means if you don't have a certified head coach, you can't bring your athletes to the state competition.
Right.
I can't soften it anything beyond that. So We'll have more information out, and it is absolutely our goal to do whatever we can to make sure that everyone can meet that requirement and all, but that's the bottom line.
So he's a new coach, and he can only attend one training. And my son's going to the national tournament. How does that affect that?
So it wouldn't have any effect on the national tournament. The national tournament is separate from our state competitions. What Mike is saying, that what I'm saying too, is that this particular coach, he could still be involved in your program. He couldn't be registered as the head coach if he didn't attend this training. What that doesn't prevent you from doing is having somebody else attend in his place and being registered as the head coach so that you would be able to bring your athletes to the state competition. Again, it has nothing to do with the National Invitational Tournament.
Okay, the other question is, if he does August 29th and that's his only certification and he has all the other paperwork in, can Hartford go to the States?
Yes, that's the idea. We need all the certification and training and coaches certification materials by September 10th. So him attending the training on Saturday the 29th.
Okay, I was under the
would be okay. No,
two of them. I didn't.
If he is a new coach and he's never been certified in golf, then actually yes, he also needs to. Since it's a he, the coach would need to also attend or complete the Coaching Special Olympics Athletes course, which can be done. That is available online. It's also available live. I think we had one in Hartford County a few months ago. We can schedule more as areas need us to. We've got, I think, 15 people who are certified to provide that training, so we can offer those live and as well as online. But if the person has never been certified before, there's two things that person would need to complete: the thing specifically for golf, and then Coaching Special Olympics Athletes.
And the one on August 29th
is the golf one. Yes, that would take care of the golf, the sport-specific requirement, and then he could complete the Coaching Special Olympics Athletes either at one of the ones that we'll have scheduled. We'll provide those dates of any that are currently scheduled later this week, or he could do it online.
Okay, well, I appreciate that. Thank you.
Sure.
Tommy.
Any other questions? Yes?
This is Patsy from Cecil County.
Hi, Patsy.
Hi. I just wanted to let you know that we also have a qualifier on August 30th at Chesapeake Bay in Northeast.
Patsy, can you just shoot me that in an email? That'd be the best.
I will, but I just wanted to let you know tonight.
Great.
Great.
No, that's great. That's great. Thanks. That's great.
Okay.
Perfect. Thank you.
Thank you.
Any other questions or discussion topics? All right, again, you will receive all the presentation materials from tonight's preseason webinar tomorrow morning via email from myself. We'll also wrap up some of the conversation topics that we discussed here tonight in the question and answer session. So, with the exception of Tom McGuire from Carroll County, everyone else, thanks for attending. Have a great training and qualifier season. Look forward to seeing everyone later on in October at the state competition. Thank you.